Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Let's see what we got for you right now. If you like those French forward slash Romanian models from not too long ago, but not too new either, well, you're looking at the right video. What we got for you right now, it's a 143 scale. Let me put this in the middle. There it goes. 143 scale, 2008 Dacia. Someone told me the other day I was mispronouncing it, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correct. Dacia. You see, in Spanish, we call this Dacia. I guess it depends on where you're coming from and what language, but someone says Dacia. Dacia Sandero. And by the way, it's a 2008 model, which is actually the very first generation of the Dacia Sandero. And let's get to a little bit more information about this model. There's a subcompact, super mini, actually they call them, produced jointly between the French brand Renault and the Romanian Dacia since 2007. Dacia, oh my God, I'm sorry, since 2007. They were also marketed as Renault Sandero, which I have it also too. It's just very similar one from another. I think only the rims are different, the logo on the hood and the rear, but more or less they look very alike, very alike. And which is the first? This is the first generation, like I mentioned before. They were built between 2008 to 2012, but in Brazil they were built between 2007 to 2014. Now, not sure which brand, which countries they saw as Dacia and which countries saw as Renault. Because again, they were both built at the same time, same model. Just I'm sure in Romania was Dacia. Not sure about the other markets. I'm probably thinking Russia, not Russia, France was Renault. I'm inclining more into Renault in other brands in other countries because Renault is a lot more known brand worldwide and probably has a bit more of respect worldwide as Dacia does because Dacia's always been like a lower end brand, like a cheaper market, like Lada, like Skoda was for a while, and FSO for a while, but not in 2008. 2008 already took over with much better quality vehicles because they're already owned by Renault, by the way. All right, guys, let's talk about the engines. Engine on these cars, they were all four cylinders. You had regular gas, petrol. You had also petrol flex fuel. Let's talk about the regular gas, petrol gas altogether. 1.2, a 1.4, and a 1.6 with also a 1.6 16 valve. Then petrol flex fuel, you had a 1.0 and a 1.6, although both of them were 16 valve four cylinders. And I'm not sure what's petrol LPG. Not sure what they. If you're familiar, let me know in the comments below. And that was a 1.4. And then diesel engines, you had a 1.5 four cylinder too. But quite a few different engines. I guess depends on the market that we're trying to sell more or less. I'm guessing. All right, guys. And transmissions, you had a four-speed manual. I'm sorry, five-speed manual, and then you also had a four-speed automatic transmission. So you got the best of both worlds. You want to make sure if you have one, you had another to go for. And then in May of 2011, it had a bit of a facelift in these models. And then they came out with the second generation and all that. All right, guys, I'm gonna let it go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Before I forget, this diecast is made by Eligor. That's the name of the brand. I have a few Eligors. They based a lot of their models. They mostly made Renault and Dacias as the diecast. I guess that's what they're mostly looking for to. But those were the main brands that they took care of building. I mean, building diecast. I mean, diecast cars. All right, guys. What do you guys remember about these cars? Especially if you're in Europe or other parts of the world that Dacias and Renaults are sold. You probably are familiar with them. In North America, well, at least in USA and Canada, we never had these models. We don't have Dacias and we don't have Renaults in our markets. I know they have in Mexico, so I'm guessing in Mexico these models were sold, but I never seen one in person that I remember. But they look cute. They're typical that 2000 early 2000s model. They're not bad looking. Dacia picked up a long way since it has been taken over by Renault, fully taken over, and not just making agreements to build like the Renault 12, like how they started back in the days. Well, they actually started with the Renault 8, if I'm not mistaken. But um, but they came a long way. Dacia, like Skoda, it's like Skoda. The both brands they were taken by a Western European brand, and they took over and they make sure they kind of kept them running. All right, guys, don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment below. Like I said, do you remember them? Were they reliable? Were they sold in your country? And do you still see them around? They're not too old. 2008. It's only about 15, no, about 17 years old. It's not so young either. About 17 years, and these little cars, they're not. But you probably see still a few of them around, hopefully. All right, everyone. Don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.